So it has been a couple days since I did my last vlog or video. So I ended up getting my accounting exam back and my math exam back, and I'll tell you, I was feeling like with my math class, my math exam, I was feeling pretty confident with that one, and I ended up getting a 65, but we get like an extra 5 points for extra credit, so that was pretty nice. And then we have my accounting one. That one I ended up scoring like 175 out of 200, so that was just another good solid outing, good solid performance. I think if anything, just gotta try to stay afloat. Gotta try to stay on the up and up. I was doing some math because I was trying to, or not math, but I was doing some calculations. And for this semester, if I were to keep up my exam grade, I would need a 44% on my math final exam to pass. Now in my accounting class, it's gonna be like a 55%. So, it's not great. Like, ideally, because I feel like final exams are very stressful, so ideally I could lower that number a bit. See if I could go by and maybe the teacher announces there's some extra things I could do for credit. But yeah, so that was kind of what happened with my exams, and it's like so it's called Canvas, which is where like you get to see all your grades and whatnot. Somebody in my class scored a 100 out of 100. Dude, for the life of me, I cannot understand how how do you have like somebody like me, right? Which I probably put like give or take like 12 hours, 14 hours of like trying to understand this material, and not just sitting there, like actually actively solving these problems. And you have somebody else that gets 100. And I don't know, let's say they didn't even study, right? That they're one of those where they just get it. Yeah, I don't know, for me that's a tough, like some people have advantages in that area, and I don't like to think about it. Just because it's like, how much work I have to put in, and then other people are just natural at this. Well, we're gonna be in the same boat. I'm gonna, do my best to pass, and I think so far I'm above board, right? This next one, it could sink me, but if I'm going through trial by fire, right? I have gone through 3 trials and I passed 2 of them. So the next trial by fire, it's like I can't let up, but I have a little bit of confidence that I did pass the first 2. So I did. That was just mentally exhausting. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do this all over again in a couple weeks. Right now, I am going to my accounting class. I did go to work past, Saturday and Sunday, past a couple days ago. But I don't know. I just haven't been really in the mood to shoot a video or a vlog per se. I feel like you need to have you need to be in that mood, and I did want to make sure that I do be consistent, because I think I mentioned this a little while back, which is that I think it's important to have a record of on a given day, right? What were you going through? What was happening that day? How did you feel that day? And I know for me particularly, as I get older, I find that each day goes by a little bit faster. And I guess for me, I'd like to slow it down just a little bit. And this is more of like journaling for me. Maybe one day I could look back at these. Maybe one day, but who knows? One day when it's I don't know, it's like people say, like, one day when I'm older I'll have everything figured out. I mean, will you? I mean, it's like you don't want to make an assumption like, oh, I'll have everything figured out. Like, like you gotta take those steps. Like, I'm gonna wake up 5 years from now, and I can't just assume I have everything figured out. I need to take steps to the person I want to be and am going to be. But anyway, that is a bit too philosophical right now. I don't know. I have something else on my mind, so I'm not quite all here, I guess. It's one of those, I think I'm at one of those points in time where it is the make it or break it time. And I understand, like, yeah, I am, in my mid-20s, so it's like, what do I know? Again, I'm not discounting that. Like, I accept that argument. But as for right now, right, I feel like I'm at a make it or break it period. Just my own feeling that that I need to pass every single class I do, and that's not easy. It's a challenge. I like the challenge. I'm gonna put in the time and whatnot, but I have to dedicate myself to that. I have to dedicate myself to becoming physically fit. I have my three Fairlife proteins in my my pockets, actually. So these are my proteins for the day. I have to do an hour a day. I have to dedicate to myself to that, to clean eating, to making sure I get my cut in when it comes to calorie wise, and also this other thing, which it's been taking its toll on me. I'm not at the point where, I'm sure I will be someday, but I'm not at the point right now to say what that is. But there's other aspect of my life which I have failed at a lot of times. And after school, or after my class, I'm gonna try again. But it is the it's like when you tried something so many times you continue failing. At what point is it foolish to keep on trying? And I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. I think that in my own mind, the way I make sense of it, again, I'm not giving any indication as to what this is. It's a more personal thing. But in my head, the way I can make sense of this is goes back to a guy named Buster Douglas. He was a boxer, and he boxed one of the most famous people alive at that time. It was Mike Tyson. And everybody discounted Buster Douglas. He was one of a couple boxers that Mike Tyson was fighting that week or that day. But the thing about Buster Douglas is he always believed in himself. Even when naturally, the world was betting against him, and that realistically he should have no shot. He took down Mike Tyson, right? And you try and you try and you try and you try, no matter how many times you fail. And eventually, right, is you can say you were either, you know, a Douglas, you could say you're either him, and in that case, it's like everything you did was worth it, or you say that, hey, you know, I did all that I could, and there's nothing else I could have done to get what I wanted. And both of those results, right, at least for me, I can take pride in both of them. I can. It's just, it makes sense to me. You know, I'm thinking in the future here. It makes sense to me. So, I have that going on today, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. You know, I need to keep a positive attitude. Just because, you know. Anyway, another day. I might get in more into that. But yeah, so today I have accounting class. I'm doing that afterwards. I did see a movie the other day called Godzilla vs. Kong, or Godzilla with Kong, something like that. And I'll tell you, right? It's wild to read because we went in blind